Cool.
All right. So everybody can hear me right now? That's what's going on. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Hey guys. Hopefully everybody's having fun at home and finding stuff to do since there's no school and no hockey, which is a total bummer. We totally wish that we could have been on the ice with you guys today, but hopefully this works and we can still make the best out of it. One of the things we're going to talk about, or the big thing we're going to talk about today, is overcoming adversity and obstacles. A lot of you guys had your season ended early. You're not able to go to the rink right now because they're all closed. You're not able to go to school and see your friends, which is a total bummer. But what you'll hear from each of the coaches today when we get there is everybody goes through adversity of some kind. Everybody has some sort of obstacle that they need to overcome. And before we jump into the stories, one of the big things that I want you guys to be thinking about, and if you're sitting at a computer listening, or even if you're on your phone, I want you to try to grab a piece of paper or use notes on an iPad, however you do it. And I really want you to think about controlling what you can control. None of us can control any of this craziness right now with the coronavirus and everything that's going on, rinks being closed, schools being closed. We can't control any of that. So I want you to really think about what can we control, right? So can we control when the rinks are open? No. Can we control whether or not we're practicing our stick handling at home with a golf ball? Absolutely. Can we control whether or not we're watching hockey videos at home to try to get better? Absolutely. So I want you guys to take a piece of paper, and you don't have to do this right now, but just at some point, I want you to kind of make a list of all the things that you can control and then all the things you can't control, and then really focus on the things that you can control. Because when you start to think about those things more and start doing those things more, this adversity and these obstacles that everybody's facing are going to seem a lot less scary. And when all of this is over and all of this is past and you guys are back out on the ice, you're going to be better off because of focusing on the things that you could do now to be at your best when that time comes. So that was just my quick thing on making sure that we're controlling what we're able to. Each coach has gone through adversity. So we're going to go through, tell a little story about different things that we've dealt with and just different ways that we kind of overcame that hopefully will help you guys as you're facing a little bit of adversity now, not being able to be out on the ice. So I don't know, Vanessa, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. Yeah, definitely happy to do that. I definitely echo Lindsay. I think we all go through really hard times, whether that's on the ice, off the ice. One of the best things about being a hockey player and athlete in general is being able to walk into the rink or, whatever sport you're playing and leave everything at the door. And I think right now, we can make one of two choices. We can kind of say, oh man, we can't walk into a rink, and so what are we going to do? Or we can be, really active and doing things like, just like Lindsay said, watching videos, getting better, putting in the work outside. No one wants to be cooped up inside anyway. So, I think there's a lot that you go through as a coach. There's a lot you go through as an athlete. I think that the biggest piece of adversity I've ever had to overcome is actually being an athlete myself, not really from a coaching standpoint, but I grew up in Boston. For a lot of people that are on the call, I think that, do know that. Ended up playing juniors, and the whole point of that was to go play Division I hockey. And, from a hockey standpoint, I did everything I needed to do, was supposed to do, achieve that goal of getting those Division I scholarships, and then kind of forgot about some of the importance of being a student athlete first. And so I didn't always quite get the grades that I needed to be able to achieve the athletic or academic side of getting through what we call NCAA clearinghouse. So while I was able to achieve 50% of my goal of getting those scholarships and earning the right to be on that ice sheet, didn't end up actually getting to do that because I didn't do very well in a few of my classes. And so, it was one of those things where I had to be better and I had to put a better focus on being a student. And it was really hard for me to swallow that pill of, well, I did everything I needed to do on the ice, but I left some of the most important pieces kind of on the back burner, and that came to really bite me pretty hard. And it was really hard for me to then sit there and say, I have to adjust my dreams and my goals, and I'm going to end up going Division 3, which I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be on this call and say that I played at that level because it's so competitive. But when you set your mind to something and then it comes down to not being able to do that because something as simple as, you know, doing a little bit better in the classroom, it was really hard for me to change my vision and change my dreams and have to kind of adjust on a dime too. This kind of came out of nowhere. And so I ended up at Utica College, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, that first year was a struggle because I still was in that mindset of I should be somewhere else. And I look back and I wish that I didn't always start that way, and I wish I didn't think that way, because of the way I ended my career, it was the best choice I ever made. I was able to be really successful on the ice, really successful in a small classroom setting, and I also got to play lacrosse. So I ended up getting even more out of my D3 experience than I would have ever had in my D1 experience. And I look back and, you know, just being able to make that choice and having to overcome that objection that I certainly wasn't prepared for was really hard at first. But, you know, I use that story every day with my kids that I coach at the 19U level, and just being able to look back and be really proud of that. And it's helped me in my professional life, just being able to, because once you kind of hit the real world, you know, things like this happen all the time. A meeting was supposed to happen here, conversation supposed to happen here, this deal is supposed to come through, and it just doesn't always work out that way. So I'm actually really fortunate that I was able to kind of go through that process, and now utilize it in, you know, the real world every single day.
Awesome. Katie, do you want to jump in with your story?
I'm gonna unmute her. So there you go, Katie. You should be good to go now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Sorry guys, I'm not on video, but I'm gonna share a story about my time in college. So one of my years at UMD, I didn't get to see the ice really that much. We had over 20 players on our team, and only 20 players can dress. So our coach had to make a hard decision and put some of us in the stands to watch the game. And I was one of those players. And this was really hard for me because playing in games is the best part of hockey, and I wanted to represent my team and prove myself, but I wasn't given that opportunity. I was really down and I wasn't feeling confident. This was a hard time in my hockey career. And thankfully my parents were there and gave me some great advice. It basically summed up to be that I could let this make me or break me. I could give up and use this to motivate me. I chose to even work harder and not give up. I worked really hard, getting on the ice twice as much as my teammates. I shot pucks off the ice. I did stick handling, worked really hard on my speed and agility. I even asked my coach what she thought I could improve on so I can get in the lineup and focus on those things. Unfortunately, I didn't see the ice a lot that year, but I learned so much. And my coach also gave me a great outlook that really stuck with me during my career. She said, when I look back at my time here, do I want to be sad and feel sorry for myself, or I'm going to look back and be proud and be positive? Hockey is so much more than a game. It's the friendships you make and all the fun memories and times you share. So I stayed positive and still had a lot of fun with my teammates, making the best of the situation, because that's really what it's all about. I think this is relatable if you ever don't make a team, or maybe you're on a team you don't get to play as much. I learned a lot from not playing in the games. Work hard and never give up. And every time you step on the ice, give it 100%. Try to do your best. So, because watching, I know players not give their best was one of the hardest things. So every time you're on the ice, make the most of that opportunity. And then even though it was difficult and uncomfortable, don't be scared or shy to talk to your coach. When I asked my coach what I could improve on, it ended up being a really good situation. And coaches like players who want to get better. So take initiative, ask your coach what you can improve on. And I think overall, I learned that it's okay. It's good to talk about these things with your teammates and your friends. They were such a good support system for me. So if you're ever going through any type of struggle or situation, don't be embarrassed. Your friends and family love you, so use them as a resource. Use them to talk about it. And then fortunately, the next year, so after all that hard work, it did end up paying off in the end. The next year, I saw the ice a lot more, so it ended up being a full circle, and got to play a lot more and learned a lot through the experience. So just never give up, always be a good teammate, and yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I
Love
got.
that. No, that's great. Coach Kristina, do you have a story that you want to share? There you are. Oh wait, we can't get. Oh, now we can.
Perfect. Okay, so as many of you know, I'm actually newer to hockey, or maybe you don't know, I am newer to hockey. And I had, I grew up actually figure skating, and I'd always loved the game, but I'd never gotten into it. Growing up, I didn't see a lot of girls playing, as many of our coaches have experienced themselves. So the challenge I had to overcome is actually doing a lot of the things and that we're building resources for you to do right now. I went online, I learned a lot of different practice plans, I learned a lot of hockey technique. I just became an absolute sponge for information. And I was really fortunate because this wonderful group of coaches that was already in place helped build up a lot of my skills and gave me a lot of pointers on what to do. And I did all of those things. And so my advice to you is really pay attention to the things that we're rolling out. We're going to be rolling out some, not only these webinars, but some great skills videos that are put together by our coaches and our own Kachinas athletes. So you can see your own teammates building their skills and you can build right alongside them. And they're going to show you how to do it with the stuff you have right at home. And I'm really excited to have you all see all that. So that's my story.
Awesome. Thank you. Do we have any other coaches on the call right now, Kristina?
I'll go take a peek. Something I do want to mention, I did post a question in the chat. We had asked a question at the beginning of this webinar, what are things that you can control? If any of you want to share what things that you think you can control, go ahead and type those into the chat box and we'll start shouting them out.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll tell mine, and just let me know if you see other coaches on. But so, for those of you who maybe don't know this, the process of making it onto an Olympic team is a lot more than just trying out for the team and making it. There's a lot of steps you have to go through to get there. In the non-Olympic years, the national team doesn't practice together. You pretty much practice with either your college team or your pro team, or sometimes people will practice with men's league teams if they're out of college. And you meet up for these couple training camps every year that you have to keep getting reinvited to. And then from there, you get to make it onto hopefully a world championship team in the non-Olympic years. But just because you played on a world championship team one year doesn't mean that you're going to make it the next time around. You have to constantly be getting reinvited. And so I hadn't made a national team my freshman or sophomore year of college. Was able to work really hard after my sophomore year and make it onto a national team during my junior year. And we went to Worlds in 2013. So that was in like April of 2013. But just because I played on that team in April, it didn't mean I was on the Olympic team for the following year. I still had to go try out. So in June, we went and there were like 40 of us and we all tried out. It was kind of cool. We were on like the rink that the 1980 Miracle on Ice game happened. So that was kind of cool. But so we tried out there. I ended up making it onto that team, but kind of like in the movie Miracle, for those of you who have seen it, we still had a roster that was too big to take to Sochi. So there were going to have to be people cut along the way leading into the Olympics. And so after we got announced that we were, on that initial roster, we all moved out to Boston to start training together. I was obviously super excited, had worked really hard to get to that point and really wanted to make that team. And we had training camp right out of the gate. And it was, for the most part, all off ice stuff. So a lot of like weightlifting tests and bike tests and running tests and just a bunch of different tests for an entire week. And it was really hard. It was really grueling. And then we get on the ice for our very first practice after like this long, exhausting week. We get on the ice finally, and we're so excited. And I don't know what it was, but something in my hip just tweaked really, really badly. And so it's like our first Olympic team practice. I'm trying to make the team. I don't want to be one of those people that's going to get cut, and now I have to get off the ice. And I wasn't able to skate for the next couple weeks. And so I would work with our trainer, and she would run me through all these exercises and stretches. And like at one point, I literally couldn't use my legs. So to stay conditioned, I had to do like an arm exercise bike, which was not fun. And I have this like very vivid memory of being in a pool, because a lot of times with leg injuries, they'll put you in a pool to help you try to get back to normal. And I was doing this running exercise in the pool, and I was feeling so scared about getting cut because I wasn't on the ice, and feeling so worried that I wasn't going to be able to come back from my injury. And I started crying in the pool. And our trainer, her name, we called her J-Rad. J-Rad like pulled me aside, and she was just like, Lindsay, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And she basically was telling me, like, you have to be patient. You have to do these hard things now that you maybe don't want to do, or do things a little differently than you want to do them right now, so that you can come back and be ready to go for the rest of the year leading into the Olympics. And so I took that to heart, and I really believed in that. And I just started focusing on, like I said at the beginning, I just really started focusing on what it was that I could control, which was taking care of my body, doing my rehab exercises to get back to where I wanted to be, being a really good teammate, even though I was hurt and couldn't be on the ice. And I think the biggest lesson I learned that is really important for all of you guys during this kind of weird time right now is be patient. This isn't going to last forever. The rinks aren't going to be closed forever. We're not going to be coaching you from a computer screen forever. And so just really believe in the fact that this is it's a long hockey journey for a lot of you guys, and this is just a small little break right now. But be patient, keep controlling what you can, and keep working hard during this time, and it's all going to pay off when we can all start playing with each other again. So that's my story. Kristina, are there any other coaches?
I don't see any other coaches. If you are, go ahead, and I think there's a way to raise your hand. But we do have some ideas about how we can control things in our lives. And
Cool.
so we had some suggestions that said you can control what you do with your life. You can control how you solve a problem. That came from Vivian Pistiner. And then your attitude from Kenna Gillis.
Nice, Kenna, like it.
Love it.
You can control how you react to problems from Antonia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Awesome.
what we got so far. If anyone has any other ideas, let us know.
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, do we want to open it up and people can ask questions for any of the coaches, and we can just kind of have a discussion about it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
But I think that one from, I think both of those are really good. I think being in control of your response is such an awesome thing to think about, because like things are going to happen to us. We can't control what happens to us. The only thing that we can control is how we respond to it. And if we respond to it really badly, then we're probably going to have a bad outcome, right? But if we have a really positive response, or we respond in a way that's going to help us down the road, then there's a good chance that we're going to be able to take that kind of negative event and turn it into something positive. So I think that's a really, really good one.
Maya Honeycutt, I can control how I act. And then Faye Pizzarello goes, I do like hockey a lot.
That's my girl. Love that.
Yeah, Lindsay, I was just going to chime in really quick too, and I think for every Kachina on the call too, you know, as a coach of the older group, I'm always hearing the younger girls, you know, talk so much about how they can't wait to be on the older teams, and I want to get better and I want to keep trying. And I think if this is one of the best opportunities I've seen for all of us to all work on being better, including coaches and our staff here at the Kachinas. I mean, if, hockey doesn't stop just because, you don't have ice. I mean, there's so much that all of you guys can do at home and stick handling while watching TV, as long as you put a towel on the floor, don't hurt your parents' floors. Different like drills that you can do in your garage or in the driveway. I mean, there's so much that goes into this sport that's not on the ice. And I think right now, given time and these unfortunate times, if you will, I mean, we can turn these into a positive, and now is as good a time as any to get outside and work on being better, so that come tryouts everyone is better than they were last year. And I just think this is such an important time for us to kind of do what we all say we want to do, which is focus on being the best version of ourselves as both people and as an athlete. And I think that's what we're all here for too. I mean, a lot of us are here to help make you guys better, so anything that we can do for you, I think this is an awesome time for all of us to push it to the limit and see how we can be the best versions, both athletes and as people too.
Georgie says you can control how you act on or away from the ice. And then Maya Honeycutt wants to know, are we going to do this again?
Do you want this to happen again, Maya?
Yeah, we can definitely do this again. I think the plan, Maya, is we're going to do more of these, maybe with some different themes. So maybe next time we don't talk about overcoming adversity, we talk about something completely different. We talk about nutrition, and you guys can tell us all what you guys are eating during the break. We'll figure out some fun stuff for you guys to do. But yeah, we'll definitely do this again. Anybody else have a question? We want to hear from you guys so we can help answer different things that you guys are going through.
It looks like some people have their hand raised. I'll go ahead, and if you have your hand raised, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you so that you can talk and ask your question. So the first person is Megan Borman.
Cool.
Oh wait, I can't unmute you. Help, Vanessa.
Give me 1 second. Attendees. Give me the name one more time.
Megan Borman. Oh wait, I just did it. Megan Borman, go ahead and talk. Megan? All right. Next one is Georgie. All right, Georgie, take it away. Oh wait, it looks like she just signed off. How about Ava Hurry? Oh wait, that one just wait. Maya Honeycutt. Here we go. Maya, do you have a question? You guys only have your hand raised if you have a question.
And if you're on a computer, you might just need to unmute your speakers as well. So even though it might say that you're on unmute with the platform, just unmute your speakers too, because that's probably where there's some lag.
All right, we have a question here. Can you give advice on how to stay motivated during off seasons?
Yeah. You guys have anything?
Yeah, you can start. I'll go second.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big things about motivation is a lot of people think that the games are that's what's motivating, right? Is like, I like to play hockey because I get to play in games. I go to practice because I get to play in games. And some of you guys will play in summer leagues, and that's great. Or some of you guys will do our summer programs, which hopefully we can start soon, depending on how everything happens. But I think the big thing about motivation is it has to come from within you, and it's something that you have to be thinking about every single day. If you're feeling unmotivated, really figure out like what makes you feel motivated, what makes you feel excitement that's maybe not getting to play in a game. That's the thing that really motivates you. So that can be going and watching some videos of the PWHPA players that we got to see last weekend. Go and watch those videos on YouTube. That's a great way to feel motivated to try to be like them someday. Something that I do, I don't have it in here, but I actually have like a vision board. So I just took a piece of a poster board and I just took pictures of everything that I'm trying to work toward and I just glued them onto the vision board. That's a great thing for you to do when you have some downtime right now. And make sure that you put it somewhere that you're going to be able to see it every single day. So then when you walk by it and you look up and it says, I want to make an elite team next year, or I want to make the 14U team next year, whatever it is, you'll see that every single day. And it'll hopefully motivate you to say, wow, I want to be able to get there. I want to be able to get the thing that's up on my vision board that I see every single day. And so I'm going to put the work in now and go and do my stick handling or go and watch some videos to try to get better and see what other people do to be able to get to where I want to go. But that has to be something that you do every single day to help you stay motivated.
All right, it looks like Liliana has a question. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Liliana. Let's try this again. And if not, I'll just go ahead and read your question. All right. Oh, there's no audio. Never mind.
Nobody wants to talk to us.
No.
Someone
Okay.
text
Liliana's question is, how do I get better at skating faster if I'm not at a rink?
What do you think makes you skate faster, Liliana? Can you type? Does it have to be on ice skates? Or do things like strength help you skate faster? Because I don't know if you were at the PWHPA event, I don't know if you guys saw any of those girls' legs, but they were super, super strong. So there are a lot of things that you can do to help make your legs stronger. Even just doing some squats or some lunges. Liliana, you especially, I see you and Juice in videos working out at the gym, which is awesome. And those are the types of things that are going to help you. The other thing you can do, and there's actually going to be a couple videos coming out with Coach Katie and I in our rollerblades. You have rollerblades. It's not exactly the same, but it's still something that you can work on. You can still work on quick starting in rollerblades. You can still work on getting really low and practicing your stride, which is going to make you faster and more powerful. So there's a lot of different things that you can do off the ice, but I think that's a really good question and something that as we're making some of these off-ice videos, we'll definitely keep in mind and try to help you out so we can help you get faster off the ice.
All right. Next question is from, oh wait, let's see. Caitlin Bump has her hand raised. We'll try this one more time here.
Come on, Smiles.
All right, Caitlin, you're unmuted.
Just ask your question.
What are some fun hockey activities to do if you're stuck in home all day?
A loaded question. I'll take that one, Linz.
Go for it.
I love watching hockey. I think we mentioned it earlier. I mean, there's a ton of content on YouTube that you can watch. There's a ton of games that you can find online. I think there's no better way to understand the game than to watch it. And if you love playing it, I imagine you probably love watching it too. And I think that that's always a fun way to stay involved in the game. So I think there's that. I don't know if you play video games, but NHL is the best. That's also really fun if you have that. And then I just chime in too, like, I think also, you know, hockey can be fun in so many different ways. And while you're at home right now, maybe not being able to be on the ice, there's also so many drills out there that sometimes they're so much fun you don't even recognize that they're, you know, hard work. Like for me, I love to stick handle. I find that fun, even just in some sneakers in my garage, get a few cones and a couple golf balls and, you know, just stick handling as fast as I can for 30 seconds and then maybe taking 30 seconds off. There's so many different drills that you can do like that to get better that are also so much fun. And, you know, you can also call another Kachina and maybe, you know, have a FaceTime duel with someone, see who can stick handle faster. There's so many fun things that you can do with your friends that also play and make it more of a challenge as well.
I like it. Caitlin, I have something for you that I actually need your help with. I'll take anyone's help with it. So I was kind of wondering the same exact thing. And so some of you maybe saw, but I started writing some like little short stories that are hockey themed. but I would love if one of you would take one of those stories and just, this is just an example, but like staple together some paper. And I would love for one of you to take one of those and make it into a picture book with your beautiful drawings. That's my challenge to one of you guys, to create some pictures for one of those stories.
You up for it, Caitlin?
Yeah.
How's your art skill, Caitlin? Mine's not very good. That's why I need help.
I'm like okay at drawing, not the best drawer in the whole world, but
Hey, I'll take okay.
All
I
right.
can people playing hockey, so.
Perfect.
Okay, so the next question is, how do I not feel behind as a goalie not seeing live shots right now?
I mean, my thought on, oh, go ahead, Mace.
I was just gonna say it's a little repetitive, but I think as a goalie, I'm not necessarily a goalie coach, but I definitely have been trying to pay a lot more attention to how to treat goalies and how to coach them and how to keep them engaged as much as possible. And I think just kind of going back to what I said a few minutes ago, like the more that you watch, the better. I think that's one of the best things that a goalie can do right now is be able to watch. There's so much content on YouTube, and USA Hockey has some amazing resources as well. So I would definitely check those out. And I know that there's a lot of off-ice drills that you guys can do to continue your development as well. And, grab a tennis ball and your parents can check it at a wall and you guys can focus on catching that and following that, with your hand-eye coordination. So there's just so much that you can do. But I would definitely check out the USA Hockey online resources. They're incredible. We can even email those out, Kristina. We can work together for that if you want. But then also, I'm a big fan of YouTube. There's so much content out there. There's so much that you can do to stay engaged, and it's really easy to find. So that would be my best suggestion for a goalie right now as well.
Okay, we have a question. How long have all of you played hockey for? From Faye.
1,000
You're gonna
years.
age it here, Faye.
Faye's getting into the deep stuff here. One of our goalie dads just texted me, going back to the last question really quickly, and said learn how to juggle as a good skill for a goalie. But anyway, Faye, I've been playing since I was 6. So I've been playing for 21 years.
I've been playing since I was 5, so 23 years.
And I've been playing since I was 4, so 21 years.
And I've been playing for 1 year.
Yay!
Yay!
You.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Let's see. Faye does have her hand raised. Faye, I'm going to try to unmute you really quick and see if you can ask your question. All right, Faye, you're unmuted. Nope, no volume. Let's do that. Maya, let's try you. There you go. Maya, you're muted.
What are some drills I can do right now?
Well, you're going to see some awesome ones soon. We're going to put some, like Kristina said, we're going to put some drills up on our Kachinas YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see some different drills. Coach Aaron and I were filming them, a couple of them yesterday. I know Coach Katie did a couple stick handling ones. Coach Vanessa's doing a few. So you should, by the end of the weekend, have a lot of drills to do. But I think, honestly, Maya asked this question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, Maya, I think just, even if you just have like a tennis ball or a green biscuit or something, just focusing on your stick handling right now is probably the easiest thing you can do. And then, working on some of that strength stuff. So doing some sit-ups and push-ups and squats. It's, it sounds kind of boring, but it definitely will help you become faster and stronger and better when hockey kicks back off. I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to add.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to work on, but I think stick handling's a really easy one. You have everything that you need to work on that, and then also just like short sprints, and if you guys have chalk, you can create an easy draw ladder, and you can kind of do some footwork. That's also gonna help. Hockey is a game of stops and starts and short sprints, so I think any kind of small running activities that you can do too, especially, the younger ones on here that are always moving. I mean, that's always helping you as well with endurance and things of that nature. So a lot of short sprints and some ladder work. And like I said, you don't always need a physical ladder. You can draw one up with some chalk or put some, if you have extra hockey sticks, put those down and run through them. And there's a lot of different things that you can do, even just with your own legs to stay in shape and continue to get better and work on your skating as well.
We have a great comment here from Sarah, and I know you're having some trouble with video. Luckily, we don't have any presentations or things like that going on today, but she's actually from the New Mexico Mustangs 12U team. She's an assistant coach, and she found us through our Facebook page, and she just wanted to know if she could continue joining these, and we say, yes, you're absolutely more than welcome to join these, and I'm so glad you found us.
100%. We welcome any Mustangs that want to be on the calls.
Kristina, it looks like Antonia has a few questions as well, and she also had an amazing comment that said, "You're 27. You look younger than that." Makes us all feel really good. So shout out to Antonia.
Antonia, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, okay? All right, Antonia, you're unmuted if you want to ask.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. My first question is, you're going to be posting drills for like players. Are you going to post any drills for like goalies?
Real good question. We should. We will work on that because we absolutely should.
What do you want to see, Antonia?
Just things that can help you with like game theory and like that.
I love it. Okay. Well, we have a Kachina goalie expert. We have
or maybe like how to.
I'm sorry, what? How do you cut out?
Or sorry, how to like keep in focus the whole time that you're practicing at home with all distractions and stuff.
Oh, well, that we can talk about. So I just recently learned a really good strategy for that because I think that's a really good point because there are a lot of distractions around and I'm dealing with it too. It's like I have my computer in here, but I also have my guitar in here and I just want to go and play my guitar instead of work on my computer, or I want to go into the kitchen and eat something, or there's just a lot going on. So something that you can do to practice that's not really a hockey thing. I mean, you can make it into a hockey thing, but if you have like a word search or a puzzle or a like coloring book, whatever it is, probably try a word search. And I want you to literally sit there and I want you to see how fast you can find the words and time yourself. And then I want you to do it with music playing and time yourself and try to stay focused. And then I want you to do it with either your parents or your siblings, like talking to you about something and trying to talk to you while you're doing the word search, and try not to get distracted, trying to stay focused on the word search and try to find all the words as fast as you did without any distractions. And then when you do that, it kind of helps your brain be able to block all that out so that then when you want to go and work on your goalie stuff and your brother or your sister is running around the house screaming or doing whatever, you don't even hear it because you've practiced blocking all of that stuff out. So that's a really simple thing that you can do. There's also these things called concentration grids. That's basically you just like cross off numbers from 0 to 100. that if anybody wants those, let me know, and I can send a few over. They're really simple, but that's a really easy thing to do and really easy thing to practice.
Victoria Jones wants to know how we access the stories you just talked about, Lindsay.
The story, oh, like the,
I think the coloring story is the one, or the other thing.
oh, the concentration things. Yeah, I'll. Do we have everybody's email who's on this call? Like, do they have to register with their email? Because I can just send something out after. Okay, yeah, we'll send something out after.
All right. There's a question from Talia. Is there a specific YouTube channel you like best for our age group? And I'll just plug the one that we're building right now for the Kachinas. So if you follow the Arizona Kachinas on YouTube, we have started posting some skill drills there. But I don't know if you all have other ideas of other drills for the 12 and under group.
Well, we've got one of our friends. He grew up here. One of Coach Aaron and my friends who played hockey here. He has this thing called the Hockey Project, I believe. And he's going to open that up for all of our Kachinas for the month. So that's going to be an awesome resource for you guys, and we'll be sending all that information out soon. But there's really like no right or wrong way. I think one of the biggest challenges, and coaches can chime in here, but one of the biggest challenges, but also one of the most fun things about coaching is that every single kid is different. So the way that I explain something to one kid is going to be very different than how I explain it to the other, even though I'm explaining the same exact skill. So some of you may find an online resource that you really, really love and you connect with that person and you totally get what they're talking about. And some of you may hate listening to those videos and you need to find something else. So I think just kind of explore some different things. If you want to work on your stick handling, just type in stick handling hockey drills in YouTube and check out some different coaches and see how they teach and see which ones work for you. There's really no good or bad resources out there. It just really depends on how you like to learn.
Okay, another question from Liliana is, how do I balance hockey and school?
That's a good one. Yeah, I think balance is a lot harder than I think sometimes we want it to be. But also in life, you're also, as you guys grow up and get older, there's going to be so much that's thrown your way. And I think as a coaching staff, I think we all do an amazing job of displaying balance. I don't know that it's always shown, but I mean, every single coach, the majority of us, we all work another job and we coach. And so balancing that can be really hard. And I think it's the same thing for you guys, is balancing school and hockey. You know, for me, time management is something that sports taught me. So right now you guys are also in that process of learning time management through sports. And I don't know that we always look as athletes, you know, into hockey as, oh, I'm going to learn so much of it outside of what I'm learning in hockey. And that's really not the case. We learn so much about time management. You know, a lot of you guys have homework and then you have practice and then you want to also go to your friend's house and you want to spend time with your family. And there's so much that, you know, is on your plate. And I think for me, like, I just keep a very detailed log and a calendar of what I have when I have it. Even if it's just time for myself, I always block off 2 hours in my, you know, my phone calendar, me time, you know, and then later in the day I'm going to be working on Kachinas stuff from 2 to 4. So I just use my calendar to my advantage to kind of plan my days and make sure that I'm really diligent with that and I follow that, and it keeps me on track with how, you know, I manage my days, especially with practices and then planning for practice as a coach and, you know, all the other things that are going to come up from hockey. You know, I block off an hour or two a day for those things and then practice. And then, you know, I also just finished my grad degree, so I was doing that as well. And just being able to have that calendar was kind of my version of sanity too, just being able to know that this hour I'm doing this, another hour I'm going to be doing this, and just staying really true to that really helped me stay on track and helps me kind of get everything done. So that would be a big recommendation for you guys too. You know, a lot of you might not have a physical phone yet, but you can even make your own calendar. You can print one out online and kind of detail out your days and how they're going to look. It's going to help you guys stay on track with what you guys want to do and help you really balance school as well as hockey.
Yeah, I think the other thing, Liliana, that I would say is really think about, like, I think sometimes people struggle to balance stuff because one, there's a lot of distractions going on, so they run out of time throughout the day when they get distracted. But you know, there are gonna be things during the day with school, especially right now while you guys are kind of in control of your own schedules. There are going to be times where there's things that you just don't feel like doing, but I would really encourage you to focus on getting the things done that you have to get done first, that you really don't want to do, but you know you have to do, so that you can get to do the things that you want to do later in the day. And it'll help you get all those things out of the way, and then you'll have all the free time in the afternoon to be able to do the fun stuff. So that's something I try to do, is get the stuff out of the way early that I have to do so that I can have some fun later in the day.
We're getting a lot of questions that are tactical skills based, like lifting the puck, crossovers, things like that. I'm making notes of all of those skating items and going to request for our coaches to create skills videos to post on YouTube for you. So I don't want you to feel unheard. We do see them, and I'm making notes of them, and you will see how to do those. And then we have a special announcement. It is Vivian Pissner's birthday today. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Birthday.
Let's see. How do you stay active when you're hurt?
Can I ask, is it your upper body or your lower body that's hurt? How quickly can they type?
Let's do one for each. Upper body and then lower body.
Good call. I mean, like I said earlier, when I had a hip injury, I did a couple different things. One, you know, I did some stuff in the pool, so it's getting a little nicer out. So if you guys have a pool, you can do like running drills in the pool. I know it sounds a little silly, but as long as your injury allows for it, you can do some like high knees and skips and running in the pool, and it usually doesn't hurt your injury depending on what it is. You can do, you know, a lot of upper body stuff, do some push-ups if you have some bands or some weights, or even like, I'm sure your parents are buying a ton of canned food, so I would like use cans of food as your weights and try to do some different stuff. If it's an upper body injury, there's a ton of stuff you can do. You can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do all kinds of different things. And I think one thing to keep in mind is, usually, again, I don't know what your injury is, but whether it's a upper or lower body injury, odds are it's only on one side, so like one shoulder hurts. So you can still do all the stuff with your other arm or your other shoulder, and try to be able, don't just say like I can't do anything upper body. You can still do stuff with that other arm, as long as a doctor tells you you can.
Awesome. What are a few empowering hockey movies we could watch?
Gosh, I bet you none of them know the Mighty Ducks.
Oh my gosh, yes. If you have not seen the Mighty Ducks, that is your homework. That's the reason I started.
It's on Disney Plus. It's easy access via Disney Plus if any of you have it. And Miracle is amazing as well.
Yeah, my favorite movie is Miracle.
Miracle,
for sure.
yeah.
Definitely one of the most motivating, for sure.
How do we maintain a balanced diet if everything is gone from the stores?
Oh, that is an excellent question. Portion control, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was at the store and it was all the like canned stuff that was gone. Like a lot of, and maybe this is just my grocery store, but it was a lot of the like stuff that sits on the shelf that was out. There were a lot of fruits and vegetables when I was there that were fresh and good. And but if that's not the case at your store, I mean, you just have to get creative. Like today, I made chili with a lot of ingredients I don't normally make it with. And you just, I think that's another great thing that you can research online. I like to look at recipes on Pinterest, and but you can find stuff anywhere. I think this is a great opportunity for those of you who are learning how to cook or have never cooked in your lives before. Like, talk to your parents about it and try to learn how to cook some new healthy things, because this is a great opportunity to be able to do that and learn. And then when the shelves are all restocked, you'll have even more stuff to make food with.
If you just got new goalie pads, should you wear them off for off-ice practice?
I think the more you wear them, the more you're going to break them in. That's probably like the best advice I could give right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go out on like the concrete and get them all dirty and torn up, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't practice like your butterfly or whatever in your house. I think that's a great way. I mean, I used to wear my skates around the house when I got new skates with skate guards on, and I love trying out new gear and wearing it as much as I can personally.
Do you have an estimate of how long the hockey season will be suspended? Look into your crystal ball, Lindsay. I'm thinking that she's probably talking about our season, but I know that our season corresponds a lot with what the NHL is doing right now.
I mean, as far as like this season is concerned, there probably will not be any like makeup games. This wouldn't apply to anyone for the older kids for like districts and stuff, but yeah, so this season is pretty much done. We are hoping to be able to pick our season back up ideally in late April or May, and then I think that'll be around the time when hopefully the NHL season picks back up too, but so much can change.
Okay, I think we've got basically most of the questions. Kaylee Brown, it looks like you have your hand up. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Not anymore. What about Ava Hurry?
Oh, doing this thing.
You're unmuted, yeah. Ava, do you hear us? Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I think those are all the questions, and we're just about at the hour now. So thank you for everyone for joining this call. It was recorded, and we'll go ahead and post that. We'll send it out in an email after this. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun right now. It's a weird time.
Thank you.
But family, so have fun.